And now, the Big D and Bubba Weekly Podcast.
Big D and Bubba, they have a show 5 days a week, but they don't get to say everything that's on their mind, so they have an extra one, and that's how we get the podcast, the podcast, the podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast, the podcast, the podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast.
Damn the rules.
Damn the rules.
Damn the rules.
Do you know what that's from?
No.
That's so good.
It was like some Michael Jackson.
It's a guy who did like a Michael Jackson deep fake.
Oh, okay.
I can't even tell you what the fact is as far as I can go. Actually,
that's it. But yeah, it was great. And then he made like some terrible rules, Michael Jackson style.
Yes.
And then he just went,
Damn the rules.
He's like, I did all that terrible things, and then I asked for forgiveness before I died, and I went to heaven.
Damn the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's your cookbook there, D?
That's great. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, this is a great cookbook. I love cookbooks. I have I'm looking through one now, but my favorite cookbook is the one before my mom passed away. My mom passed away 24 years ago this week, actually. And before she passed, she made a handwritten cookbook with that beautiful cursive writing.
penmanship that people used to have back in the day.
And then she would at the end of the recipe put a little story about someone in the family that had some kind of connect. Like, this was your Aunt Edna's favorite, whatever. Aunt Edna was in Italy for 2 weeks because of the Second World War, and then she came here and started her own, she became a stripper or whatever. She did not become a stripper.
That took a turn.
Well, she was stripping furniture.
Yeah.
Getting the varnish and all.
Thank you for clarifying.
Oh, well, you meant I'm taking her clothes off? You don't want Aunt Edna taking her clothes off. I mean, maybe you're into that shape. I don't know you that well. But hey, you know what? There's things that people look up on the Googles that
look at my browser.
surprise me.
I only do that on your computer. That way.
That.
Yeah, me too.
No wonder it's always got viruses
Man,
on it.
is that like the worst thing? Like when somebody comes over, I had that guy who was doing the blinds, and he wanted to get on my Wi-Fi. I'm like, no, you can't get on my Wi-Fi.
He's doing your blind.
He has a cell signal.
Yeah, that's also
I'm like,
true.
you have a signal. I'm like, what's the matter? He goes, oh, it's just faster. I went, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
have
when you
any,
go,
you have no right to my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just because you're here. What, do you want to use my bathroom too? No, take it outside, pal.
That's what I do. I tell him to take it outside. I take it outside
Now there's
because
a
I
big
can
brown
now.
spot in his yard. Yeah.
So I made a comment the other day to somebody. I was talking about mowing the lawn, and because I have a lawn again, I'm so excited about that. And I was like, yeah, I have some poison ivy in the back, so I have to wear pants when I mow the lawn. And they're like, you don't wear pants when you mow the lawn? And I'm like, no, I mean, normally I'm always in shorts. And they're like, oh, I thought you normally mow the lawn naked. I'm like, who am I talking to?
What idiot are you talking to?
Because that's like totally something I would say.
That is a Bubbaism. You're right.
I mean,
So I was thinking about it. I've got like the 6-foot privacy fence.
you're not considering this,
I'm
are you?
going to
should.
mow the lawn
Completely naked.
one day. Just to do it.
Yeah.
To say I've done it. Wouldn't that be the coolest?
That
You
is
could
so cool.
I could just come back and go, guys, guess what I did? I mowed the lawn naked.
Yeah, that is super cool, man. Yeah, well, you
Damn
should
the
do that.
rules.
That's right. You should do that.
Pantsless, at
You didn't
least?
know all this when we hired you, did you?
No. What I enjoyed though was Larry Fleet was in the other day.
Yeah.
And was fantastic.
Yes.
And we're getting the selfie picture, and Larry looks down at Bubba's legs, at his calves, and go, "Your calves are huge."
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's I mean, everyone remembers their first.
Yeah, and nobody even brought it up to his attention. He found that out on his own. He discovered that.
Just
I
by
walked around.
looking down.
Yeah. He just looked around and
If Bubba cleaned up his diet and like really got serious into lifting, he could be a bodybuilder.
I used to be really lean back in the day. There was a time when I lived in Guam, because we did that water displacement thing that tells you what your body fat is. I was like 4%, which is almost unhealthy.
Yeah,
but I wasn't eating and stuff back then because I was always out diving and surfing and whatever, and I just dropped all that baby fat from high school.
if that was your life, why did you leave that?
stupid. Stupid. Yeah, no, that was a good life, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I will go back to that. That's the thing is like, I always think about, I hear people, they go on vacation. They're like, oh, this is the greatest place ever. Oh, I would do anything to move here. Then move. You
Yeah.
know, if your situation allows you to
Except
do
for
it-
Nashville. Don't move to Nashville.
don't no,
No,
don't,
but-
don't move.
No, a friend of mine got a job. He got a radio job in it's like Virgin Islands or something like that. You know, they're always advertising.
Yeah.
And he moved down there with his wife, and he decided to leave. And she goes, "Nope, I love it here." They got divorced because she said, "No, I'm way too happy,"
Yeah.
and
it's-
she stayed.
It is a great life, and it's not for everyone because there's a lot of people who there is isolation, like especially going to Guam. I mean, Hawaii is like the halfway point, sorta, to get to Guam to then get to the Philippines and all that kind of stuff. But it's you lose a day going there because it crosses the date line, so they're a day ahead of us. It's a 2-day travel thing, so it's not something you can do easily. So not a lot of people go there, but man, once you go, and if you do get into that world, man, there's no need to go back. We all have FaceTime now. We can look at each other and go, "Oh, look, I'm looking at you and the kids and whatever."
Just know if our Seaside, Oregon affiliate offers me a job, I'll see you later. I'm gone. I'm out.
It's so pretty.
It's gorgeous.
God, we got to get out there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
But I don't want to go out there and work. I just
do
wanna
they
go out
really
there.
have the caves?
Hmm?
Do they have the caves?
Yeah, are those real?
like the Goonies caves.
That's more up in Astoria. I don't know as much about that in terms of the
We
caves.
need to do that.
But the beach scene where they're racing on the beach in Goonies, that's where Haystacks Rock and Cannon Beach and Seaside and all that is.
Yeah.
That stretch of Astoria and down the Oregon coast about 30 miles, just amazing.
Yeah, well, they
It's
got
beautiful.
those big looking rock things in the ocean. And
Yeah.
just, like, how does that happen? How do they get there?
I don't know, but I enjoy it. I love it.
Guam has that too.
It's so great.
How do they get those?
It's coral. So like at some point the water was higher, and then you have that left over.
No. I'm talking about these are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boulders and things. Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm just saying that's what it is. It's
It's coral?
no, I'm saying the Guam ones are coral. The other ones
Oh,
could be
yeah.
just
Yeah.
boulders that were pushed up by
Whatever.
Tectonic
some
plates?
kind
Yeah.
of tectonic
yeah,
thing.
Since,
Some
since all of
thermo-
that is out there, that's probably it. But again, what I love about there is that you can actually see elk on the beach too, seasonally.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
I'm like, so I can get the beach and I can get elk, and that part of the country, it's perfect. Perfect mix.
See elk a lot when I lived in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
We go out and do all that.
Especially where you lived, yeah.
Guam.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Out in the eastern part, you see more of it because they're out
Yeah.
there in the
Yep.
I never went elk hunting.
Oh wow.
That's the first place every place I went hunting was Montana,
Mm-hmm.
and it was not a great experience.
Really?
No, I won't do it again.
Well,
I have no desire to go hunting. Yeah, well, first off, we drove 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're elk hunting,
we
out
could have
there-
stopped 30 minutes into the drive. It was
Because it's all the
15
same.
minutes
It's
into
all
it.
the
We were in the
same.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's all the
So
same.
why do we keep going? I don't know. I guess because
Special
the property,
property.
theirs, it's whatever. And so anyway, and I went with one of my buds and his dad, and his dad or he was on the Olympic shooting team, and so we went together with me, him, and his dad. I think maybe I forget somebody else went, and you get your binoculars out and you start looking, and you see it, and then you just start walking. Dude, I walked for an hour and a half, and it would move, and then you'd move, and you got to watch out for scents and all that stuff. Finally, we get down to it. I get close enough to this deer, and it's got all these does around him,
Mhm.
and it was rutting season, I guess. I don't know. And they were in the way, and I couldn't take the shot because they're like, sacrificing themselves for their man, which is what every woman should do, Carson. And
That's why I'm single.
and so, she's like, "You taking a bullet for this guy?" Anyway, it finally moves, and they're like, "Okay, go ahead, take the shot." Pull the trigger. Thing flips up in the air, takes off, and they're like, we're like celebrating or whatever, and I was like, "Is it over? What do we do now?" So then we got to go track it, and then we found it, and it's there. And this is before cell phones. Like we had like little like flip phone, so.
Oh yeah.
But it didn't have a camera on it. And so anyway, I go, okay, well, great. And now we've just walked an hour and a half.
Now you have to quarter it and
How-
do all
how-
that.
Now
you gotta
what we
haul
do-
it out. You got to backpack it out.
Dude, he goes, well, we got it figured out because this is on National Forest land. So we,
Where it dropped?
where it went over.
This
so,
is literally an episode of Yellowstone, right?
and so then we picked it up and had to carry that thing over a fence.
Mhm.
And then drag it, and then somebody left to go get a 4-wheeler.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I didn't get home for like weeks. I felt like it was forever. My gosh, that's my bald spot came in. By the time I got home,
That's how it happened. Who knew?
and then they take it, and then they can hang it up and do all that stuff. And I was like, man, that's just, man. First off, it's a lot of work. If you could go hunt and shoot them, and then they fall over and act like they're dead, and you get a picture with them, and they got their tongue out and whatever,
I love this business model.
and then you slap them on the butt, and they give you a wink and a
Oh,
nod,
like tranquilizer.
and you give them some
Yeah.
food,
Right.
and go, here's some extra, take back to your boys, and they just run off. That would be great.
There is something magical, though, about filling your own freezer. And I know you just bought that quarter cow. It's the same thing. You would be harvesting your own cow, per se, if you go
Yeah.
get the elk. And
Yeah, I guess I just don't care for
it's
deer meat that
organic,
much.
but it's organic. It is clean. There's no hormones. There's no anythings in it. There's no nothing. You're getting something that is literally, when they say farm raised or pasture raised, this thing lives in the woods. Had the best life up until 20
Until
seconds
you killed
ago.
it.
Well, I mean,
I felt so bad because I was like, I didn't enjoy this at all.
Yes.
There wasn't, and you go, oh, you want this in what do you want? I'm like, I don't even want it.
The first and only time I shot and killed a deer and had to do all that, I went, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done.
It's just not my thing.
Because, and that's the thing. I come from a family of hunters and all that. That's cool. For me, no, I'm good.
I tried to take
good.
Frankie out to go and this past fall, and he was like, "Man, I'm just good with shooting the guns. I don't.
Yes.
I don't want to
Yeah,
have to.
yeah,
I don't
me
have to
too.
kill
Yeah.
anything."
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too.
Well, but son,
No, I love going skeet shooting. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But no,
Terrible at
it's-
it, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I like duck hunt.
The
On
game.
NES.
Hey, duck hunt. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at that. Pretty
I think
good.
you would be. Don't you think Carson would be good at skeet shooting or?
I think I would.
I think she could do it.
I think
Yeah.
too. I think she's got really good balance and good. Yeah.
Yeah.
She get over the just the feel of it. And all
Yeah,
that. You get
yeah,
used to that.
Yeah.
Give
have
her
you
a
ever gone
give her a
back
20
since the
gauge.
day that we took
No.
you out?
What? No.
We took
absolutely
Carson
not.
out years
What?
ago, a couple of years ago, to go shoot her first gun.
Oh.
And we took her to the range, and she did really well.
She did
And
until someone shot a.
Oh my gosh! Some
What?
guy
I don't wanna
starts
jump in your
firing in the lane next to us, and I was like, "I'm out.
I
I'm
forgot
so
what
out.
he
This
had.
is too close,
Didn't
and
he
we're
have a-
done."
Wasn't there somebody that had a 50 cal, or am I thinking? About
no,
Oh,
it wasn't
50 cal.
It
What?
wasn't a 50.
Wasn't
Not
a 50.
that
I'm
lane.
thinking I'm mixing.
I don't know what
stories
he
up.
had, but it was loud.
It was loud. She
And like he
freaked
could
out.
have been a couple lanes down, but it was like bowling. Why don't you give us one in between each?
You know what? I think that's a reasonable request.
Yeah, there's nobody here, sir.
What was she shooting with? What was the weapon?
We did different things. We did
yeah.
380s, 40,
You brought your-
9mm.
Okay.
Brought one of my ARs.
Yeah.
So she shot, that. I mean, so
But yeah, even the AR's so what a easy. I feel so great. That's the easy. That's the best.
That
gun of
was
all of them.
easy.
in an
yeah.
AR, it's easy.
Yeah.
Well, easy. After I'm like, it took me like 10 minutes to pull the trigger.
but you did it.
I was like, I'll set up. I'm like, okay.
Are you still looking at? Are you still looking at getting something for the house? I
Oh,
mean,
I
I
don't
know you
know.
talked about it back
Yeah,
then, and
again, I'd have to go back and get up the gumption to fire one again. So right now it's me and a sledgehammer.
I still think,
So.
and I know like Big D loves just shotgun for home defense is fantastic. When you rack
Mm-hmm.
that shell, there is
Such a
something.
distinctive noise.
Yeah, there's something really cool about that. You know what I've been doing? I now have my little thermal camera that I bought.
Which I make fun of you every time.
I
about.
keep that in my bedside gun safe. That way, if anything, I don't have to turn any lights on. I don't have to worry about.
I love
Yeah,
this.
there's no lights, there's no lasers, there's nothing that gives my position away, and I can walk and it's there, and I've got the little thermal right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's-
position away.
What?
This is
Dude,
so
that's what a
intense.
light does.
This is so intense.
If you have a light on your,
Oh.
it'll give your
I
position
just,
away.
I wouldn't want to spend 10 seconds in your head. I can't even imagine what's flying around in there. Oh,
Not lights.
that's true.
Bubba's
you wouldn't be able to
Bubba's
find your
really
way.
smart. He's really intelligent.
No. I'm not saying he's not smart. I'm just saying
but he comes off as a lot of he can come off goofy and silly and and he is that way. He's like the little rabbit, like the Energizer rabbit.
That's true.
But he's really smart. He's smarter than I am.
He goes from like hamster dance to John Wick
Yes.
in about 3.2 seconds.
Perfect.
And then
Perfect.
back.
And
then Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
He's all mixed in. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It just makes me fun. I
It
can have
does.
conversations
Absolutely.
with anybody about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
right.
on his dating profile. It just makes me fun.
Yeah.
Use a lot of ellipses on your dating profile. Or
Do
you
I?
Did. Yeah, use a lot of like ...
Well, I do. I'm an ellipses
Well, that's what
guy.
you do with your text too. Is
Yeah,
dot, dot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just how you
There's a lot of
communicate. Which I get it.
Was it bad?
No, just
Yes, it is. She brought it up.
Yeah. No, that's
no. It
actually-
was just
that's
something
right.
that I noticed because people sent me screenshots, and that's fun.
They're like, is this Bubba?
Yeah, they were like, "Should I just run into Bubba on here?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah."
What kind of pictures do you have on your thing?
Firefighter.
Yeah.
We have firefighter.
Like
gear.
it's not all
Oh,
about.
he has a Big D and Bubba selfie with the sign.
No.
Oh, you did?
No.
Because I saw that. Oh, you
No,
did.
the sign is not behind it.
Oh, are you sure?
You want to look it up?
Are you sure? Well, I can't find him. Like, but
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Or maybe I knew what it was, but you're
You knew
by
what
the
it was.
sign. I know you're by the
Yeah.
sign.
No, there's nothing that shows anything with work.
Okay. But that firefighter gear on full display.
Shoot, I would too, man.
I know. That's dude, it's a hook. Absolutely.
But you're thinking about giving that up though.
There's a lot
Ugh.
going on. I have to work through.
Yeah.
But yeah, being like volunteer stuff, being close to the firehouse is pretty key. And where I'm at now with the new house and everything, I'm just not. So it's going to slow down responses. I just have to. I'm getting back in here in a couple weeks. I took a little time off so I can move into the house and all that. And now I have to figure out, okay, when am I going to be able to commit the time to? Because everything's all about staffing, and you have to know who's there and who's not, and it's a time commitment thing, and I haven't sorted it out yet. So
Carson, are you going to get
I'm
a dog
struggling.
with your new place?
Depends. I'm deciding between two right now. One of them, I don't know if they will allow it. But the other one, I told them, they said, yeah, you can get one. Like if you come back
Good.
3 months in.
Because it's
if I
been a
want
few
dog.
years
It has.
since you've had one. Yeah.
Mhm.
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
You don't have a dog, do you?
I haven't for a few years. I did for a long time, but
We're down to one. And he wears the diaper.
I was just going to ask about the diaper. I was going to follow up on the
diaper changes things,
How's
though,
the
doesn't
diaper
it?
going?
It does change things.
What do you mean?
It makes it better.
Oh, it does. It kind of makes you go, well, you can pee on him, so.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with Stacy's old dog, it was like I did not like the dog at all because it would pee on the carpets and pee on the rugs and just whatever. And then once we started putting the diaper on, it became a cute dog. I'm like, you know what? You don't pee on anything anymore, and all I have to do is change your diaper a couple times a day. This is great.
How old's the dog?
I don't know. How old's my dog?
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean,
He
I'm
doesn't know how
wondering,
old his kids are.
how old are your kids?
Zach is 23.
Just had a birthday.
His birthday was Thursday, yesterday.
And what month are y'all going to have a party?
Ah.
We're going to have dinner. We're going to go out for his birthday in December.
These jokers,
these
Shaver.
guys.
You know they're just over here just grilling me for no reason.
No, they're 100% true. I know you well enough.
But here's the
You don't
problem.
know
Here's
that.
the problem.
There's no chance.
Yes, there is some of that to that. Yes, we don't celebrate birthdays on their days. Sometimes we don't at all. I get it. I know it's awful.
Could
but-
be my family where you have 7 parties.
What? Somewhere in the middle is a better one, you know. But I asked Zach, I was like, hey, man, like 2 months ago. Hey, man, you still want to get that certain kind of keyboard? He's a nerd. He collects keyboards.
So?
I appreciate that.
I'm totally ashamed of it. It's terrible.
I've got 2 mechanical keyboards right here.
He's got he gets them from China and Japan.
I love your keyboards.
And they're
actually.
like
They're great.
separate, like cool, weird things. He makes them and all the kind of.
Oh, I remember he made that one. Yeah.
I'm joking. It's really impressive. But
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you want me to get that keyboard? And he's like, nah, I think I'm going to get something different. I'm like, okay, well, let me know. Your birthday's coming up. Oh, okay, well. 2 weeks ago. Hey, man, your birthday's coming up 2 weeks. Anything that you want? I can't think of anything down. I don't know. Okay. And then Monday, I was like, hey, man, your birthday's coming this week. Oh, yeah, I don't know. So don't get you anything? I don't know. I just gave him money.
That's fine.
And he wanted a little cake. So we got him a little cake
Yeah.
and just left it on the counter.
Carson, how did you celebrate your
No
birthday?
party.
Oh my gosh.
No,
every-
we didn't. I'm not even joking.
No.
Just
We
had a
left it on the
cake.
counter.
Okay. Yeah.
We had a cake. It was exactly what he
Come
wanted.
and go whenever you please.
And you just kind of, gnaw on
Yeah.
it as you go by.
No, my mom texted me and she's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I go, "I don't.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I don't want anything." And she ended up buying me a sweatshirt that I was like, "Here, it's 20% off. Just whatever if you want to buy me that." My dad calls me and he's like, "Hey, just so you know, look for a transfer. Just putting some money in your account for your birthday." I'm
Oh,
like, "You
that's
want to do-"
nice.
Very nice, right? And I was like, and I want to be like, y'all live in the same house, and you can like partner up on this. Like, she got me a sweatshirt. It's fine, but it was very, very lovely that they.
I haven't celebrated a birthday. I haven't had a
No.
birthday party since maybe 7th grade.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost had one last year. I almost said, you know what? It's time. But then
Yeah, with everything you're going through.
everything went on, and I'm
No.
like,
Fair.
The
yeah.
amount of people that text me, like, "What are you doing for your birthday?" And I was like, sleeping. I am so tired. I was out the night before at a concert. I've been on the road for like 5 weekends in
That's
a row. I'm like, I just want a nap. And even like, I didn't even have the energy to eat the cake I bought myself.
You actually go hard. Like most people don't realize how much Carson is out for shows and et cetera and all that kind of stuff. You really do. So I would see just some downtime being
I
good
did.
for you.
I did, but like, "Oh, do you want me to take you to dinner?" No. I mean, that's nice. Thank you. But no, I really want my couch.
How
I
many
want a
shows
nap.
have you seen in the past 2 weeks? Concerts. These are concerts.
Well, I was supposed to go to a show on Saturday, but it was canceled, so that can't count. But it was the reason for the trip. But I went Tuesday night. Then I was the weekend before I went to a show. So I guess in the last 2 weeks, well, no, then there was a second. Well, no. Yeah, I don't know. It's like 4 or 5. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been to a concert since the Morgan Wallen thing, I think.
Really?
Was the last
That was like March.
I know.
Wow.
Did you go to the Morgan Wallen show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
Bridgestone?
Frankie and I went.
At Bridgestone?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were sitting together and then I left because I
Yes.
found a better
Yes.
seat.
My seats were not good enough.
I think the last concert I went to was with Carson. I don't think I've been to one since then. That
Yeah.
was like 4 months ago.
Yeah, we went to the theater.
Basically, if you ever go to any concert, Carson is probably there somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
2000
I've got so many videos that I still have to upload from just the last 3 days from being at shows. So yeah, because I try to do like one a day. I don't want to bombard people's Instas.
Well, speaking of that, Alice Cooper and you on social media.
Yeah, Alice Cooper posted a picture of me on his Instagram.
Did he really?
What?
Yeah, I tagged him in because I went to go see him, and I tagged him, and my friends and I were standing in front of the like mural thing they had, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm on Alice Cooper's stories. I
That's
was
cool.
like, that's pretty dope.
I wonder who runs his stuff. I
That's
mean,
the,
you know,
yeah, it's
he
not
doesn't
Alice.
do
Yeah,
it.
he's so checked out. But
Is
I
that
was
his real name too?
like, mm-mm.
Oh, it's not.
Vincent Fernier, is that his name?
I think that sounds right. Yeah,
Vincent would have been a great
I know it's a good name. But,
ghoulish name too.
yeah,
Mhm.
but nope, he's Alice
He looks like
Cooper.
a Vincent.
Yeah, more than an Alice. Who names a kid? Who goes with Alice?
Well,
yeah.
Am I
For a
missing?
guy,
Yeah.
yeah. He was doing it for the shock value, though.
That was the band name too, because it was a band before it was him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alice Cooper was a band, and then he just took it solo.
It would be
Oh.
like Darius actually becoming Hootie.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that. I always thought like Alice Cooper was just the character of his stage persona, which I guess now
Well, I
it
mean,
has morphed into.
it is, but
back
yeah,
then-
but that
it's
was
one
the
and
name
the
of the
same
band.
now.
Yeah.
He's a big Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys that you wouldn't think that you think like, oh, like the lead singer of Wasp, Blackie Lawless, who's literally changed the last name to Lawless, like super born again. Very, very big into Christ for the better part, I think, 20 years. The rest of his soul, Frankie Benally, the drummer for Quiet Riot, was actually who introduced him to Christ. So there's a lot of those guys that are in that realm because people are like, oh, you and your devil music. And I'm like, Let me introduce you to their Instagram accounts.
And here's Striper.
Yes, and here
Aw.
is Striper.
Michael Sweet and Striper.
That's so funny. That's who introduced him to Christ.
Yeah.
I just imagine that they walk into backstage and like, yeah, you know her, but you know Jesus.
Yeah.
David and Mike, right?
He's over there on the couch.
Hey, what's up, man?
I mean, look, you know.
Hey, dude. Hey, just heads up. You should probably get that looked at.
Hey, Jesus. So,
It was a whole thing. Yeah, there's a lot of those dudes. So, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, this has been fun, guys. I do have to make my bets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I got to make the bets.
DraftKings.
So I've been doing that. So what I'll do is I listen to these podcasts, these guys who like who make suggestions on what you should bet.
Yeah.
For games,
Mhm.
and they get really into it. That's spread, all the numbers I can.
Right.
And I follow them, and I just kind of go, yeah, that sounds great. And I just if there's
just
one
do
I'm not
whatever
sure
they
about,
say.
yeah, I'm
Okay,
just like,
fine.
I mean, because they're all making great points.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, if I'm an LSU guy, so I don't want them to go against LSU. I wouldn't go against LSU.
That's one thing I don't do is I never bet against my teams.
Yeah,
Like you will never
yeah,
see
that's
that happen.
icky. Yeah, it's not.
I'll just never bet on a game that involves my team because I know
Or that.
emotionally I just
Well,
I
it's the
can't-
same way I
can't do it.
run fantasy football.
Yeah.
I never play a player for whoever is playing the Saints, no matter what. I don't care who they are. It could be you name it, whoever it is. They could be having the greatest season ever, but if they're playing against the Saints that weekend, I won't. They're benched. It doesn't matter who they are because I don't ever want to go.
It's a real fan right there, man.
Yeah, I don't. And
I remember-
it has
I remember-
cost me so many leagues.
I remember when Bob and I first met, and I was like, "So who?" He's I'm saying he would always have Saint stuff on, and this is when they were bad.
Oh, they were bad.
bad,
Yeah.
really bad. The joke, the whole thing, and,
Pre-Sean Payton.
and
the Aints.
yeah, the Aints, and he was like, nope, I don't do any of that stuff. These guys who put the bags on their heads, screw that. I don't do that.
Mhm.
I'm in. And every year it's the same thing. This is it. This is the year.
Yeah.
And then and every year I told him it's probably not.
And then one year,
And then one year it happened, and he almost didn't go to the Super Bowl. He almost didn't go. He was like, I'm like, man,
What?
You,
Well,
I,
because
I
it
had
was
to convince him.
expensive.
I know
It was expensive,
and I said,
would have
man,
had to take a day off because I
was like,
wouldn't have
who
been here.
cares? Go take a day off. I don't care. I'll take care of it. Listen, go and do what is going to happen. You didn't know if it's ever going to happen.
See, I got lucky. I watched my team win the Stanley Cup because they were in this city, so I didn't even have to travel. Yeah, so
he
I
went
just-
to Miami.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just
And it was freezing cold. I remember that we were in my buddy's Jeep with the doors off.
because it's January.
It was-
even in Florida.
It was like 50 degrees and the humidity, and we were just freezing, and it was so great. We had the best time.
Yeah.
We went down and did, I don't
God,
know.
you
we-
were so drunk.
Oh, the whole time.
Dude, I called him. So I'm at this house and I go into my home studio
Yeah.
and I want to get something recorded that I can play the next day on the air. Like, all right, Bubba, because we've been talking about it all week.
Sure.
Bubba's, Miami, the Super Bowl. Call him up and it's like they had just won. I don't know, 30 seconds later. And all circuits are busy. It was like all messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Because the whole thing. I finally got through to him, and he was like, "This is all." He goes, "Here, just noise."
Mm-hmm.
I go, "Hey, man!" Like I'm on the air. I'm like, "Hey, man! So how is it? How'd it go?" And he's like, "Ding, ding, dong, who dat?" Click. And I was kind of stood there and I went, "Wow."
Notice he is not refuting these claims. at
No,
all.
not at all.
he could-
I
I
almost
could-
died at that game. There was all kinds of things that happened.
dying at that game?
I almost
What?
got into a fight at
Oh,
the Super
what?
Bowl. So I was sitting there. It was cold, so I had a Saints hoodie on, and I told him this too. So I'm sitting there, and there's some fans behind me from the Colts, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden my hood was down. The girl behind me flips my hood up, like playing with my hood, like to annoy me, and I'm like, okay, 2 or 3 times. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
2 or 3
And then I was like, I
times.
turned around finally. I'm like, hey, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I turned back around. Flip. She did it again.
Oh.
So now,
And I said, what?
yeah, go ahead. This is the best.
So I turned around. I said, please don't touch me. Don't do that. turn back around. Maybe 60 seconds later, floop, she flips my hoodie up and it gets up onto my head. And I turn around and I look at her dude and I said, man, you better take control and be a man because I'm about to whoop your ass. I said, if she touches me again, you're going to pay the price. She never touched me.
Now, how many drinks in were you at that
I
point?
was several in.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, she was too, I'm
No
sure.
kidding.
She was.
That husband wasn't. He was stone cold sober after that conversation.
Yes, he was. He got sober
Man.
real quick.
And I remember whenever they did the ambush play, the onsides kick, I jumped up, and I wasn't thinking. I jumped up so high, and when I did, the bottom of the seat part flipped up.
Right.
Like it does.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, when I come back down to land, there's no seat there, and I get hung up on that thing, and man, I almost died and flipped forward out of the stands, and it was so crazy. Like the whole experience was super fun. If you've never been to a Super Bowl or a World Series or anything like that, when your team plays,
gotta go.
you have to make
You
it
have to
happen.
go.
But it's like so crazy because like when you guys would be watching "And God Made a Farmer" commercials, in the stadium, they're just making these conversations like they're going.
In case of a chemical attack, do not run. Do not jump over the top of the building. Do not do that.
It's all these warnings about in case of an explosion, in case of fire. So you're all over here watching Doritos commercials and silly stuff and Clydesdales. And in the stadium, we're like, we're going to die. This is great. It's the strangest thing. And there are sniper roosts and nests all over the place.
Yes.
And
The guys are just got their scopes and they're just looking at chicks.
See that? No, they're probably doing that. But that was a weird feeling when I went to Shanksville, the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
yeah.
And knowing, because there was ex-presidents there and dignitaries, knowing that there's snipers all around and you can't see anybody.
And you never saw one?
And I never saw one.
Of course you didn't.
Well, I know, but the thing is that you're actually there and you're cognizant
Yeah, you're looking.
that there are snipers.
You've seen
there.
the YouTube videos where they train snipers in their final.
I hate that they put that out there, though.
The thing that they do is they put them out in a field and you hide,
Yeah.
conceal, and then they have snipers watching, trying to find you, and they will call a radio and they'll go, go 5 paces, turn to your right next to that bush, and so they'll send a guy out there, and the guy who's walking, like he can't even see the guy, and he walks up there and he goes, he's like, right here, yeah, no, one more over, and then puts a stake or a marker or whatever, and it's a guy sitting laying there.
They know what they're looking for, man.
But it was just the first time in my life I'm like, there are people here that are trained to shoot at any time.
Yeah,
And it was just knowing that and actually actively thinking about it. It was the first time I'd ever really thought about it.
I guess now it's all. I mean, obviously we still use snipers, but with the drones and stuff now, it's really changed.
See, that's the thing, because I see drones all the time. Like I see drones at high school football games because teams are using them. So I just
Teams are using them?
Oh yeah, teams are using drones.
For footage?
Oh
or-
yeah, they'll be up in the sky and be able to tape everything, and yeah.
Oh, I
You'll
didn't know
see
that.
drones
Do
doing
they-
that.
Oh, okay. Do they ever? Okay, so they're not using it for like coaching or like.
Not during the game, no, but you can after.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can as tape after because it's just a different camera. It just happens to be above the field.
I was saying you could just stick a drone up there for 30, 45 minutes at a time,
Yeah,
and you're watching real life footage.
Pretty
you may
much.
see something.
I mean that's
for a coach, you
So
may
that's
see
the thing.
something different.
I don't. They can't use it during the game, but
Oh,
like,
they
after-
can't?
Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
afterwards, yeah. But it's still just like I see
I
drones. all
love
the
my
time.
drone. I flew it yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I like to just fly it.
It looks fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
My
Yeah.
brother-in-law has a couple of them he's gone through. One he put into a lake. Another one he put into a tree. He's lost a couple of them now, and he just trashed them.
I'm gonna get those ones that you put the head the it's almost
VR
like,
rig.
it's all it looks like a VR rig kind of chap, but what you see is what the camera sees. So you can fly it and it's like you're up in the air.
So do you have to contact the FAA or what have you? In
No,
terms of
only if
airspace,
I've
or-
only had it a couple of times where like I wanted to take do some stuff kind of over the grain silo with the big mural on the side of it, the old man.
Yeah.
Over by the
Yeah.
whatever.
I know what you're talking
Yeah. I wanted to do that, and I turned it on, and on the screen it says something like some kind of a warning, contact Nashville airport
because you're too close.
something. And I kind of freaked out, and I just turned it off
Because my buddy,
because I was too close to the airport.
Right. Because
One up to tune.
a buddy of mine over in Hendersonville has his drone, and he can only have it at a certain height because it's a flight path.
Yeah, you can only have
yeah.
you can only go up to 400 feet.
I was going to say something like that.
400 feet.
But yeah, those are active flight paths right
So
above
you
his
know-
house.
Yeah. Okay. So mine has ADSB on it.
What's that?
ADSB is how would you say
It
this?
tells the air traffic control
Sorry,
where
Carson.
it is. It identifies it and it tells it where it is and who it belongs to.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
so it's
because
an
you have to register.
identification.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
so
you
everyone can
pop
see
it
each
too
other.
high, they know who it was who did it.
It's a reason. It's also how like air traffic control, like in the tower,
Mhm.
or even in departures or ground.
Mhm.
They can see where all the airplanes are. You've seen those on like the screen. It looks
Yeah.
like an overlay of
Yeah.
the airport, and you see airplanes, and there's like letters, like
Yeah.
words and stuff around it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But so if I'm flying my drone has that inside it, so it can receive, and I don't know if it transmits. Do you think it does?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think there's
something.
there has to be some kind of way. They need to know where
No.
you're at.
Right. Yeah.
So
of
if it
course. Of course
does, yeah.
Right. So I'll be flying it, and there's a little screen, a little square in the corner of the screen will pop up and says, "Warning: aircraft in the area." And then I will look, and there'll be an airplane. I
On
can
the
see it
screen?
flying on the screen over on the map,
Oh wow.
and I'll look up, and there go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
They're way high.
yeah.
They're probably 2,000-3,000 feet, maybe. Helicopters are the problem.
Yes.
Helicopters they go right over my house, and I live up on a hill,
Yeah.
so I'm even closer to them. And if I'm flying and I'm at the house, I got to be really careful with that.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun to fly it. Just like I go out to like an air park. I want to do a thing where these guys, they have like the remote control airplanes,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to team up with one of them and like see if I can't do a fly along with them and get their footage of their airplane in the air.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that looks
Pretty
like
neat.
almost
Yeah,
like
that'd be
a wingman almost. You're
Yeah, like
right
air to air
behind them.
footage.
Yeah.
I'm just because I can fly sideways just as fast as they can.
So that's a lot cheaper than having an actual airplane.
Oh my god. God.
The cost of owning an airplane is ridiculous.
Dude, sometimes I wouldn't fly. There were times I wouldn't fly just to have the plane with everything else, with everything involved.
Yeah.
It was like $4,000 a month.
Yeah. I figured.
That's with no fuel. That's not.
That's
burning
not doing
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
Yeah. It was. They're great, but there's so much that goes into that,
Yeah.
man. The guys who are like, oh, I've always wanted to fly. Do you have a reason to fly? I just want to go flying. You really.
Yeah.
But Bubba likes to like he'll do that.
That's my golf.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible golf. I don't have the patience for golf, so I go fly, and it's
He likes to like pretty days and like just relax or go to the beach or you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And my mentality is all A to B, point A to
Very
B.
direct.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, I don't
But
want to
you
go
have to
fly
admit,
go
those
fly.
days that we would go fun flying.
Oh,
we
your
would do-
airplane was the best.
No,
His-
but I'm saying like just even whenever we would do formation stuff to go like to places or just goof off, those
That
were
was
some
fun.
fun days.
Yeah, it's fun. It is fun. It's expensive, but most things that are expensive are usually fun.
Usually pretty
My plane was cool though because it had a
Right.
canopy that would slide back,
Yeah.
so you could. It was like a convertible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you could slide it back in flight, and you're like, "Hey, you want to go touch a cloud?"
we did that.
Wow.
It's one of my coolest life experiences I've ever had. Sitting next to him, and our fat legs touching. You couldn't have put a hair between them. Forget COVID and the mask. Get nothing in there, man. And then he goes, "You gonna touch?" So we went up, and there's a cloud deck.
Yeah.
Get up closer. I mean, I'm getting like nervous.
Oh
and thinking
yeah.
about,
Now you're
we're climbing
excited
up
right
to
now.
it. We're climbing up to it. Getting right, just right. Just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then he pulled the
Canopy.
Yeah.
canopy back, slides back like a
Yeah.
fighter. His airplane was made by was Grumman. It was
Yeah.
Grumman, the F-14 Top
Okay.
Gun.
Wow.
Anyway, we took our hands and kind of cupped them like that, and just drug them across the cloud.
That's crazy.
And you got all that moisture
It's
in your
weird.
hands.
Oh, it's
It's
such a
weird.
weird feeling.
Yeah.
cold and
It's
clammy.
cold and
and-
wet. Yeah,
Yeah.
wet. Yeah. That's fun, man.
I'm looking forward to my weekend and doing the extreme trail riding stuff.
That's gonna be.
I may not be
blast.
back by Monday, so it's been fun working with y'all. We'll see how it goes.
Knock yourself out. If you need,
Man,
come back
if-
when you want.
No, I was talking
If
to my
you were
brother,
to-
and he said that they spent like half a day earlier this week where they're having to wench the vehicles over these rocks and like he's doing some hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
in terms of where they're going with these side by sides.
If you don't come back and it's because you're in the woods,
Stay there.
Yeah.
do it. Come
We
back.
get it.
Come
Well,
back
but
Tuesday.
I would, but the thing is that they're leaving Sunday morning, so I'm catching the very last day of this trip. Tomorrow.
To me, that sounds a lot like hunting. I don't want to do all that.
Well, here's the thing: it's his vehicle. They're bringing it down, doing all that, and I'm like, I'm just the idiot city guy showing up. That'll be fine.
Oh, that's
yeah.
You should say Garsh.
Gosh.
gorsh.
Gonna red up. Gonna wash up.
Ask him questions like, dumb. Just look up Google dumb mechanical questions.
No. My brother already knows I'm an idiot, so I mean, I don't have to play the role.
Oh, he already knows.
He already knows.
Get in there and
I mean,
just
we already established that with my father.
when
earlier
you get
today,
it
so-
started, just go, where's the Prindle?
the Brindle. I'm not that dumb. Yeah,
Prindle's a classic.
Oh my
yeah, but
god.
I just
I hate my car has the push button stuff now,
yeah.
and it's just dumb. It's not ready for prime time.
All right.
Like, and I know a lot of people, oh, I love it. Man, give me the old fashioned little Prindle. I like that better. Or give me a stick.
Oh, is Prindle real?
Oh, Prindle. Yeah, the PRNDL.
Yeah, NDL.
It's
Oh,
the
look at
Park
that.
reverse.
Right.
It's,
Look
it's
at
when you make
that.
it to the final prize wheel in Wheel of Fortune. They give you those letters for
RSTLNE.
free, and then we just need 3 consonants and a vowel.
CDMA, thanks.
That's what I was gonna say.
CDMA.
Damn the rules.
Them the rules. Brothers Osborne, great conversation we had with them.
Yeah.
So, we'll get into that, man.
This was the podcast, but now it's over. But that's okay,
That is
'cause you can listen
okay.
to the regular show on the radio every day.
Damn the rules.
It was the podcast.